Alrighty, and welcome to another wonderful, informative episode. I can't see Michael because I got the stand in front of me. Whatever with Kevin. This is actually going to be our first live video version. I don't know why I'm looking at here. I should be looking here. I apologize. My apologies. Anyways, my guest today is Michael. Say hi, Michael.
Hi, everybody.
Why are you looking over there, Michael? Camera's in front of you.
I don't know. I'm so used to, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Anyway, I'm just as nervous as the live thing because it's the first time we're doing that type of Facebook thing here, but it should all be good.
Now, for the record, I actually offered Michael some vodka and he said no. So it's his fault if he's nervous, not mine. That being said, I should have gotten a refill before this. Oh, well.
All right. It's podcast stage fright.
Okay, sure. Works for me. Let's see what happens when I switch to this angle. Hey, look, we're both outside now. I'm joining Michael up on the lakefront. Say hi, Michael.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, my goodness. You're over on my side. Can I go on your side? I can't. I'm shut off, but you can go on my side. That's not cool, dude.
All right.
I'm going to cut you off. There we go. So anyways, today we are going to do another episode of Whatever with Kevin with Mikey. And today we're going to be talking about the exciting, wonderful world of healthcare.
That's right.
So I'm actually going to let Michael introduce the show.
We're going to do a show called Profit Before Care, how they help companies are more worried about making a profit than your actual health. And I think it's personally disturbing.
Yes, it absolutely is. And the thing is, it's always been that way since healthcare has been the norm, but it's gotten worse.
Gotten way out of hand.
People are gotten to the... Boy, should I take my glasses off? I don't know if it's a good idea. We'll try and find out. People have been in this mindset for years now in the healthcare industry that they have to make money. They have to turn a profit, which is, I get. I mean, it's a business. And anyone out there who thinks that healthcare isn't a business, healthcare is a business. It's all about making the money. It's not about not losing money. It's about making money. Even non-for-profit hospitals and organizations make a profit, and a pretty nice one at that. I know because I've worked for one. But it's kind of, I don't want to say disgusting, but it's disgusting how much money some of these companies make. Now, some obviously do put a lot of the money back into the healthcare system in the hopes of, improving their services and getting better equipment and getting more staff or, higher level staff or whatever it might be. But that being said, many times CEOs just give themselves nice bonuses. I actually worked for a healthcare system, Mike, that, well, no. Hold on. I actually worked for the healthcare system where after a few years of our CEO being on board, he decided to give himself a $1.8 million bonus.
Okay.
We couldn't afford scrubs for our surgical techs, but we could, I don't know, buy new TVs for every room and give the CEO almost a $2 million bonus.
Something's wrong there.
Absolutely.
Severely wrong.
Now, do you have any fun experiences with healthcare, Michael?
Whatchamacallit, sometimes they'll have a product like for your psoriasis, and I found that I used a $50 product and my doctor wanted to go and sell a $250 product.
Really?
Yeah, so something's wrong there. And needless to say, when I questioned him about that, and he kind of got pissed off with that look. Oh, this other one's better. But yet the $50 product was doing the same thing.
Really?
Yes.
All right, Mike, make sure you're talking into the mic, okay?
Okay.
All right, you get our lines up here.
All right.
So very good.
Okay.
And if you cannot hear that, I've got whining, crying children upstairs, so I apologize. If it picks up at all, I'm sorry. Nothing I can do about it.
But just don't go to the hospital because they'll charge you $20 for each earbud thing to go and cancel the noise.
Of course they will, Michael. So, and that's the thing too, like, I don't know. Do you have a PPO or an HMO, Michael?
I believe it's a PPO.
But you don't know?
But I don't know for sure. All I know is the Blue Cross and Blue Shield, I call it blue balls and blue balls. And if they don't pay for anything, it's no shield.
That's actually pretty funny. So, Michael, oh my God. So you don't even know if you have an HMO or a PPO?
I believe it's a PPO. I didn't really look at it.
Do you have a deductible when you go to doctors and or whatever for treatments?
Yeah, it's a $50 copay, I believe.
Every time?
Yep.
All right. Now, do you have like a max coverage where after a certain amount of money, you don't have to pay copays anymore?
Not on that, but the hospital, I believe, is 6,500. Then they kick
Holy
in.
shit. 6,500 you have to pay out of pocket before they cover anything?
I believe so.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not good.
I would have to say, Mike, that's an understatement. To say that 6,500 out of pocket. Oh, no. Oh, actually, hold on. I think we're okay. We are. Again, the microphone levels are on the very bottom, so it scared me. I apologize, people.
No, it's okay.
I just want to make sure you're getting our voices because, let's face it, it's important.
Right. And I'm
especially when you're trying to do an.
And to be clear, I'm just using like hypotheticals because I don't have the actual policy in front of me. And I know I kind of sound stupid here, but it's okay. I'm just saying it's the whole healthcare thing to me is rigged.
Rigged how, Michael?
You go in, if you have shittier insurance, they want to get you out of that hospital because they can't bill as much and get as much money for the hospital. So basically, they're going to kick you out on the street in a nice way.
Yeah, I can say personally, from personal experience, well, I guess that would be personal. I apologize. But I can say from personal experience, I've actually seen people put into taxis and transferred to other hospitals. Not by request, not by permission. Just say, oh, put them in the taxi and send them to ABC hospital and drop them off there because they don't want them on their records anymore because they know they're not either A, not going to get anything or they're going to get very little for them.
Right.
Right. So.
And the other thing is like when the first time you come into the room, I mean, how many times do they ask the same information over and over again after you gave it to them? I mean, it's all computers and all that. And someone's so happy to bring that little cart and, they're putting all kinds of little medical codes in there. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Hey, Mike, you want to know an interesting statistic or an interesting fact?
Sure.
You know those little computers?
Yes.
You know what they're called?
Scanned up computers. I don't know.
They're called cows.
Cows.
Computers on wheels.
Okay.
Yes. It's a very exciting world in healthcare.
Well, they're literally milking you.
Yes, they are. So, anyways, I can't get past this background. It's awesome.
It's all right.
No, it's an awesome background. It's awesome. I'm not complaining. I just I like being outdoors. I like the sunshine. I think it's good to get some sun, some color. I'm a little red right now.
Right. I think I'm getting red because I'm so mad at the healthcare system, but that's okay.
Could be.
We're trying to make it light humor, Add some.
You don't like dark humor?
Well,
You got any funny jokes, Michael?
Not right.
All just jokes.
All right.
What do you call a man with no arms and no legs laying on the floor?
I don't know.
Matt.
Okay.
What do you call a man with no arms and no legs floating in the water?
A float. A raft.
Bob.
Okay.
What do you call we call a man with no arms and no legs on a wall?
I don't know.
Art.
Oh, okay.
See how we're going here?
Yeah,
Why does everybody like the mushroom, Michael?
See, now I'm going to draw a blank here.
Because he's a fun guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Duh.
See?
Yeah.
Actually, it's not dark humor, but it is
Right.
funny in a childish way.
Right.
So, I know they're stupid jokes, but I've
They're
got
good.
kids, many kids. So, and I know lots of stupid jokes.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I think like on the subject of healthcare is when you have the pharmaceutical companies that are involved. They're so happy to go to a doctor's office when there's the medical rep. I noticed that like they're all smiling because they got some free pens and other stuff here. Something's wrong.
Oh, Michael,
here.
they get a lot more than just
Yeah,
free
I know.
pens.
I know the pen was a bad example. More like probably a vacation thing or sports tickets, that kind of stuff.
Well,
Let's
they've
not
actually
use pens.
cracked down, so it's not as likely to get so much
Okay.
obvious free things, but there are a lot of free things you get. And you get a lot of kickbacks. If your practice gets new prescriptions for a certain drug,
Right.
you might get a kickback pretty substantial, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Michael, you're the one who wanted to bring up the subject. Why do you want to bring up the subject?
Because I don't. Part of it is because I don't like what's going. Like part of it, is because when you go to a hospital, I think with all the money that they spend, number one, when they're billing you for insurance, that they could upgrade the visitation rooms with prettier pictures versus the crap that's on the wall. The paint could be better because it's all at least the one hospital I won't name here for fear of being sued, is
Good idea, Michael.
They what?
Good idea.
Is they paint gray and darker colors. Already people are, it's a hospital and they're already in kind of a, like sad, bad mood. And it doesn't mean that, there's people that are going to go and get out of the hospital and feel better and all that. But just your psychological state is like you're looking at these dark colors. At least put something positive.
Sure. No, I understand. That's actually a very good point. I mean, the thing is like your psychological state of mind is so important to your recovery, no matter what you're talking about. Like, it doesn't matter if you're going in for some type of elective surgery, say like a knee surgery, or if you're going in for something unexpected or an illness. Either way, your psychological well-being is very important. So you want to be taken care of in that manner as well, which I get. And like you said, they paint certain colors. I think they also do it too because they can kind of cover up old stains.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding. I actually worked in one hospital where they had ceiling tiles. Back in the day, you actually used to be able to smoke in hospitals, right? Like back in even the 80s. Some even in the early 90s, you were still able to smoke in some parts of the hospital inside.
Okay.
So a lot of the ceiling tiles are stained because they're those ceiling tiles.
Right, the cheap tiles.
Correct. But hospitals don't want to buy new tiles, so they pay guys just to paint them.
Okay.
To cover up the nasty nicotine stains or whatever stains you want to call it.
So they look for the cheapest paint possible?
All
right.
They would. I'm not kidding.
All right.
It's business. I actually knew a person who was very high up in a hospital, and they had been suggesting over and over again that they wanted to do more of a holistic treatment system, like because they knew that less invasive, less medication was healthier for people, and you had better outcomes, and that was what was important to this person. Well, they tried introducing this to the board of governors, and basically got laughed at. And it was explained to them that that's not how they make their money.
Okay.
They make their money by having sick people walk through the door and keeping them sick.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, because there's a famous line I'm going to quote like a musical artist.
Oh, surprise,
I know. But
oh my God.
There's a line from Dracula Moon. It's a Joan Osborne song. I know it's very obscure from the 1990s.
Who, Michael?
Joan Osborne.
Who?
He's.
Right.
And I'm saying the cure is that they can go and keep billing as long, like what you're pointing out, for that treatment.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. People they don't want to keep you sick necessarily, but they don't want you to get necessarily too healthy or too quickly because that hurts their bottom line.
Right.
It's all about the Benjamins, even when it comes to hospitals.
Yeah, because they could do more tests, more co-pays, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and that's the thing. Most people don't understand how much these ridiculous tests cost. I mean, they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get a PET scan, what is it? $7,000 for a body scan?
Yeah. It's
okay. I'm sorry. No, it should probably be about $300.
Right.
But they can charge $7,000 because insurance company will only pay out $800. But guess what? If you walk through the door without insurance, guess how much they're going to charge you? $7,000.
Right.
Even though there's no good reason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. And then the other thing too is like, let's not even do that. Like, well, okay, someone gave me a Tylenol. I mean, I don't have like a billing chart, but what, $10 for a pill? I mean, go buy a whole effing thing of Tylenol from the store for, let's see, at tops $8. Without looking at it again.
Well, and that's the point. That's what they do. I mean, they literally will take something like an ACE bandage and charge you $45 for an ACE bandage when it costs them $1.50.
Exactly.
Because that's how they make their money.
Yeah, and they'll justify it. Well, someone had to come in and had to do all this, and someone had to be trained to put the bandage on and make sure it was on the right location.
Well, and that's another thing too. Well, no, I forgot I left our name plates on this screen, but not on the other one. So when I see it, it's like, oh, our names. But they, I lost my train of thought.
On the pills and the administering.
Well, but it's just how they make their money, Mike. They're not gonna stop.
No, they're not.
Gonna want their money. They're gonna want more money. They want to get as much money as they can.
Right.
And it's just how business goes. It's like, and the thing is, and that's the thing. In defense of the hospitals, these supply companies like Cardinal Health and all these other ones, they will gouge these hospitals. I mean, I used to work in central sterile processing at one point, and we actually had a make sure this is working. Yep. And they used to actually have these so every time you do a certain type of surgery, you get a pack in of all disposables. May it be if you're going to do a laparoscopic appendectomy, okay, you get a certain pack and you take it off the shelf and it's got everything you need for that, right?
Right.
That pack, our hospital would be paying sometimes $700 or $800 for.
Okay.
Now, honestly, in parts and pieces and materials, even with the manufacturing and the production and the selling and the transportation, probably cost them $80.
Yeah.
And they're charging us $700 or $800. See the problem?
Yeah.
And then our hospitals turn around and then charging the patient $1,800. Right. Because why
it costs them $800. Right.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. It's also the drugs too. Like there's something like we even forget like the hospital, like Pfizer whoops. Like just say like
a company.
A company.
It, you don't want to get sued.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being careful here. I didn't just say like in Canada, how could you explain that a drug here in Canada is like $20 cheaper, and then in the United States it's $50 cheaper?
I can actually explain that. So what you don't understand is that when you see countries like Canada and in England where they have this healthcare system where it's all like universal and through the government, they're getting their pharmaceuticals subsidized by the American people. Okay. We're the one paying for the difference. So the reason why they're getting their drugs cheaper is because we're paying higher prices here. If we demanded to pay lower prices, they would be paying more.
Okay.
So we're actually subsidizing their drugs.
All right.
I know that for a fact. A fact.
Okay.
Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, for them.
Yeah, for them.
It just is the way it is. Okay. If we demand to pay less, they're going to end up paying more, and they'll become even more unhappy. Now, I've talked to people from Canada and from the UK, for that matter. Some of them actually even doctors, and I get mixed messages all the time. Like people are like, well, it's great, everything's covered, I have no problem. And they will all admit that, well, if I need to come in and get an MRI, I might have to wait 2 months. It's like, I'm sorry, if I want an MRI, I want it today or tomorrow. I don't want to wait 2 months because God only knows what's going on.
Okay.
In Canada, they have to wait on average for anything like that. Now, obviously, if it's an emergency, it's taken care of right away. If they can know, like, oh, you need this out, or you need this, or you have internal bleeding, I mean, they take care of it right away. So anything life-threatening is dealt with immediately. But anything even slightly elective, you have to wait literally months.
Okay.
Right.
Unlike here, you can go and do it right away. Pretty much.
Depending upon your insurance, and depending upon where you're at, and what kind of, Mike, you understand, we're really, really spoiled because where we live in the Chicago area, we've got everything around us. We live in this huge, metropolitan area. We've got tons of hospitals, tons of healthcare systems, all competing with each other. So we get better availability than most people. Now, if you live in the Ozarks, if you live in Western Tennessee, you're not going to have the type of treatment that we get here.
Right.
So that is very important to keep in mind.
Right. Bigger population, more numbers, et cetera, they can make money.
Now, are you saying Excedrin, or Excedrin?
No, et cetera, like going on and on and on.
Just wondering, how do you spell Excedrin?
EXCETRA.
I don't think there's an X, but I think you're right. No, maybe there is. I don't know. No. But you're very, very close. The way you were sounding at it, couldn't quite tell. So,
well, someone will comment upon it and go, actually, it's this spelling. It's okay.
It's so funny because I'm playing to two cameras right now. I'm playing to this camera. I'm playing to this camera. You don't even know that, but they know that. But you don't know that. So anyway,
I don't know.
What don't you know, Michael?
I don't know. I didn't know that there was like I'm playing to this camera, that camera, and camera A, camera B, camera C. It's all good. Lots of cameras.
It's all good, Michael?
All good.
All good.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I'm going to ask you a quick question.
Yes.
How long do you think we've been doing this for?
Roughly, I'd say about 20 minutes.
Very good. 22 minutes.
I'm losing track of time, too, but I'm just trying to think.
All right. 22 minutes is actually very good. Remember last time we recorded a podcast? How long did we talk for?
I believe 2 hours and...
Just over 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's over 2 hours. So yeah, so no, actually, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
No,
We've actually covered a lot so far. So Mike wanted to talk about healthcare and about the shittiness of it and how it's all about for profit as opposed to helping people or
right.
profit first and foremost and then helping
Right.
people. So we all know that's kind of boring. We don't want to talk about it too much. So what else can we talk about, Michael?
No, that's about the only other thing I could say is there's a lot of specialists. There's too many specialists for the same stuff going over and over again. It's too many specialists.
All right,
And
Michael. That's not what I meant. I meant like what else can we talk about
what
besides
else?
healthcare?
The Bears defense is doing really, really well this year.
And that's due to
Khalil Mack.
that guy is a monster.
He is
He
a
really
monster.
is. He goes in there and he just elevates everyone around him. I was happy when I heard that we got Khalil Mack. I was just like, okay, was this a dream? Did I wake up yet when I saw the headline? And then once I realized it was real, I'm like, maybe something's wrong with him. Maybe he's got issues, or maybe he's that people don't know about. Maybe he's got an injury that no one's talking about. And he comes on and he just destroys everything around him, and he brings everyone around him up
Right.
to a level that they've never played at before.
Yeah, because they want to go and get their game up and show what they can do and all that. And it's all good. I'm very happy for the Bears defense. It's like now they're worth like watching again. Because, they're being very competitive compared to other seasons where they were getting blown out, where defense looked pathetic. That's just my opinion. So
No, they're playing so much better. Now, obviously, Mitchell Trubisky had this wonderful game last week, and he scored,
Right.
6 touchdowns? That's not going to be the norm.
right.
I'd be happy if he got 3 touchdowns a week. That would be great.
Yeah. And not to take anything away from the Tampa Bay defense is really bad this year.
Well, in that sense, many defenses are really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, it's not like they're so bad. There's just so many bad pass defenses in the NFL.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just bad coaching, if it's just not a good pool to pull from of cornerbacks and other defensive backs and safeties. But in general speaking, terms, I don't think that there are a lot of great defenses out there. That's why I think the Bears are as good as they are. Now, again, I don't think the Bears are as good as they are. I don't think they're like the number 2 or 3 or 4th defense. I mean, maybe they're in the top 10. That I would definitely say. I think if they make a couple of moves or they get a couple of guys to step up and improve better, especially on the defensive back side, we could really be in the top few.
Right.
But we're not there yet.
No. But we are interesting. We're not nowhere near what we used to be, which is good. And the other thing on football too is whatchamacallit, the quarterback, where the quarterback is getting hit a little bit after the play. There's been a lot more calls for protecting the quarterback in this year than in recent years.
What you're talking about, Michael, is the it's so funny. I never changed the name in this podcast. I gotta go do that. So basically, it's called the Aaron Rodgers rule. Because
Right.
They were complaining
That's
so
correct.
much about he was getting hit and beaten up on.
Yes.
That they needed to do something about this. Now that they did something about this, the Packers are the ones getting it in the rear end. You know what I'm saying? And on top of it, oh my
All right.
God, Bing Crosby, whatever the fuck his name is, the idiot up there, the kicker in
Yeah, they're
Green
getting
Bay.
rid of him.
Are they really?
There's talk that they want to get rid of him.
Well, he was fine up until this week. And then he missed 5 kicks. 5.
Damn Bing Crosby.
Not even damn Bing Crosby. Fuck him. I'm glad he did bad. I mean, I feel
Well,
on a personal level, honestly, I feel bad for the guy. I wouldn't wish anyone a bad day at the office. I mean, some people have, days where they don't produce so well.
Right.
This guy literally cost his team the game. And it wasn't because of 1 kick or 2 kicks or 3 kicks. It was 4 kicks plus an extra point.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And on the subject of kickers, the Dan Bailey, another kicker for, I believe it was the next kicker for Dallas, also cost his team a bunch of games. I think it's from Minnesota.
Oh, he was kicking from Minnesota?
Yeah.
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 I didn't follow this week. I was busy at work
No,
all
it's
weekend,
like
so.
this week he missed 1 kick. It was like 42 yards. I somewhere out, but then the other games before he missed like a bunch of kicks. So he's been consistently missing kicks. So the broadcasters, the Dallas and Texas Texans made a joke about that maybe Dallas made the right move getting rid of Mr. Dan Bailey.
Dan Bailey. I don't remember that name at all. And I've followed NFL for a while now, and I don't remember. I know that other Bailey guy on Dallas. Is his name Bailey? The receiver?
Oh,
What's his name?
Bryant.
No, not Bryant. The guy who's still a receiver for the
Beasley?
Beasley. That's
It's okay.
well, Bailey, Beasley. I mean, it's pretty close.
Cole Beasley. That's his name.
Okay.
It's all
Bailey
right.
and Beasley are pretty close,
all right.
It's not like I was thinking like
No.
like Johnson and Brian, whatever. I
Yeah,
mean, it was pretty close. In my defense.
Okay. It's all good.
All right, Mike, show's yours. Go.
That's all thing I could say about football. The Blackhawks will look a little bit better.
Oh, fuck the Blackhawks. They lost.
They lost it was a competitive game.
And what's their record, Michael?
It's 2-1 this year.
They've only played 3 games?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
They're the first team in NHL history that have free overtime games.
In the first 3 games?
To open a season. Just a little like a side fact.
Okay, well, that should tell you something, though. If your team has to go to overtime every game, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, right now, Mike, the season is young.
Yes.
Very young. Okay? What is your prediction on what the Hawks will do this year?
My prediction is they're not going to make the playoffs.
Really?
A lot of people think that they're not going to make the playoffs either, but there's a lot of people that are thinking that they'll be better, and time will tell. They have some young kids, and right now it's too early in the season to tell. It's good that they won 2 wins, but I agree with Kevin's point that there's something wrong when you're playing overtime games, and again, there's no power play. Power play sucks.
Right. Absolutely. No, I agree. And so does hockey. No, just kidding. No, hockey is a very tough sport.
Yeah.
If you're 5'2" and weigh 158 pounds, like the average hockey player. Just kidding. There's probably like 3 guys who are over 5'8".
Right.
Sure.
Same old shit too. The Blackhawks get pushed around. They're more of a finesse team. There's nobody big to go and clog up that goal mouth to create screens.
Now, is Crawford back? I heard he was, but then I heard he wasn't. Is he back?
I don't know.
Was he playing?
No, the guy that's been playing is Cam Ward. They came over from the Hurricanes, and he won a Stanley Cup with them a long time ago.
All right, Michael, you missed a golden opportunity to like rock me like a hurricane.
No, not that Scorpion song.
Why not, Michael?
I just don't like it. It's kind of cheesy.
Michael, everything the Scorpions did was cheesy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. All right, so we made it through hockey, thank God.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about baseball.
All right.
Cubs suck.
Yes.
Sox suck way worse.
Okay.
Done deal. Now, honestly, Mike, I have to say, I talked about this the other day and I completely forgot to look into it. How are the Yankees Red Sox doing?
Right now, the Yankees are getting their ass kicked.
Well, okay, how?
Score wise.
But where are we at? Where's the series at?
The series, as of today, it was 1-1. They're tied 1 game apiece.
They've only played 2 games in like a week?
No, within the last couple
I
of days.
talked to you about this. They're already playing they're Wednesday or Thursday. Today's the following Monday. They played 2 games?
Yeah. This is the third game that they're playing.
Fucking pussies.
It's the
2
games. Third game. They're not even that far from each other.
What, Michael?
They're not even far from each other. And speaking of the Boston Yankees rivalry, our beloved media wants to stir up some shit.
How so?
They want to have they were saying that there'll be like a fight in Boston if they play if Boston plays what the hell is that Frank Sinatra song? It's Up to You, New York, to excite like the players.
Okay.
Because what happened was back, I didn't even see the game, but there was a pitcher on Boston named Kelly, and he got in with
Jim Kelly?
Joe Kelly. That's
Jim
right.
Kelly.
He got in with Gary Sanchez because allegedly Gary Sanchez was supposedly trying to take out the first base person stealing like a hard, not actually a hard run, not steal. Mm-hmm. And the next time when he came up to the plate, he threw like a ball in near him, and he's like, "Okay, you want to go at me?" So then they charged. He at each other, and they had a little fight,
They had a little tiff.
a little tiff.
A little tiff.
Right. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing if there's like another, I'm not saying I'm not exciting mob action, but it would make a more entertaining baseball game.
Oh, buddy.
I know it's the water. I think there's some vodka in it, but that's okay.
No, but there could be, and there would have been had you chose that.
Okay.
So I'm like, here's your prediction. Who do you think is going to win it all this year in baseball?
Right now, I'm gonna still stick with Boston,
Boston? You think they're
but I'm not counting the Milwaukee out.
really? Are they really that good?
They beat Arizona, swept Arizona.
Dude, my daughter could beat Arizona.
But the thing is, I don't think the National League overall, I think they're still very weak compared to American League teams. So
How so?
Just the American League seems to have better hitters and better pitching. And
Sure,
games
okay.
have been more, I think, overall more competitive. Or one team, I should say, like I'm going to contradict myself. One team dominating more in the American League over the National League. The National League games have been seemed to be very, even like the top teams been more competitive. And
Okay. Well, fair enough.
it's okay to disagree. I mean, that's all good.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know who's all even in the playoffs. And Milwaukee's in the playoffs. New York, Boston. I'm a Boston fan. Sorry for those who are not.
The Astros. Excuse me. Braves.
The Braves made it?
Yeah,
The fucking Atlanta Braves?
Atlanta Braves.
Well, kudos to them.
The Cleveland Indians.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Indians. They're pretty good.
New York Yankees. And Boston Red Sox.
Well, who the hell is in the NL?
In the NL, the Dodgers. The
And who
Dodgers
else?
are
There's
playing.
gotta be, what, 14,
Dodgers, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's waiting
Oh,
to
Milwaukee
see
is
who's
in the NL now. They used to be
Right.
American League. I'm sorry. Old school.
right. And the Milwaukee's waiting for who's going to win the Atlanta Dodgers series.
Well,
they're playing
where's that at?
I don't know.
I don't mean physically. I mean,
no, I don't know
number-wise, where
who's
they at.
number-wise at it. But I know Milwaukee swept Arizona. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Right. Nice.
And the other thing about Milwaukee is, as a side note, is someone designed the Milwaukee logo in the 1970s, I believe. It was an art school, and they only got $2,500, I believe. I feel sorry for that guy. It's a contest.
Well, that's because they signed a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Right. Remind you, later I have to have you sign a piece of paper.
Okay. A waiver. I'm going to get sued by Pfizer later on for my earlier comment on the healthcare medicine thing.
I hope not.
I hope not either.
That would suck.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, they won't get anything anyway. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So we've talked about healthcare. We've talked about football a little bit. We've talked about baseball a little bit.
Right.
What else is there to talk about, Michael?
I really don't know.
Brett fucking Kavanaugh.
All right, we'll
Seriously.
talk about him. All right.
Brett fucking Kavanaugh.
Okay, now we're getting political.
Mike,
All good.
I'm going to say this for the record, and just so everyone knows, every single thing you do in life is political. There's
Okay.
nothing that you do that isn't touched directly by politics. Directly.
All right.
Well, it could be a little indirectly, but still, it's affected by politics.
Okay.
So, what are your views on what happened with Brett Kavanaugh and where we're at today?
I don't believe every person that came forward. There's been a lot of contradictions. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, if you keep recanting and you don't remember your stories, I mean, from 20 years ago, okay, there's pieces of that, but I mean, come on, if something traumatic happened in your life, you're going to remember it.
All right, Mike, time out, buddy. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to educate Michael a little bit here. So, it wasn't 20 years ago, it was 36 years ago.
Okay, 36 years.
And
That's right, in the 80s.
And Christine Ford, she had memory issues. Now, that being said, I still believe something happened to this woman. What it was, I don't know. Who did it, I don't know. Even when it happened, I don't know. But there have been many, 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 many contradictions to her story. First off, she came out and said that all this came about originally because in 2012, she was having some work done on her house and that she panicked and demanded that 2 front doors be installed. Husband said, "What's going on with you? Why would you want 2 front doors?" She said, "I don't feel safe. I'm claustrophobic. I always feel like I need a way out. You know, all this stuff going on." I said, "Okay, well, let's go to therapy." And during this therapy process, supposedly, it came out that she was assaulted by Brett Kavanaugh. Now, as far as the records go, Brett Kavanaugh was never named, ever. Okay, that being said, first off. Second off, now that she came out and said that this is what happened, a contractor came forward with a receipt showing in 2007 that he installed 2 front doors in 2007. And the reason why he did it then is because she said that she was having a bunch of Google interns coming to stay at her while they were working at Google, because she lived like right down the street from them. Okay, so that's a huge contradiction.
Yeah, that's
okay. Second off, everything she said to corroborate her story, every witness she named, not only does not a single one of them remember anything happening even remotely like this. Even her best friend, who she demanded was there and knew all about this, or at least knew that it had happened, states not only did she have no recollection of this ever happening, but that the fact that she never met Brett Kavanaugh. So again, I believe something happened to this woman. What happened and when it happened, I don't know. Who did it, I don't know. The Democrats were trying to use this woman, unfortunately, for their gain to try to get anything they could to either delay or get Kavanaugh's appointment denied. That being said, I'm not saying Brett Kavanaugh is going to be a great justice. I'm not saying he should be justice.
Right.
But on the grounds of this, it shouldn't affect his position as being a justice.
Right.
Directly. Other things he's might have done, sure. You know, but then again against Brett Kavanaugh when he was giving his testimony, right?
Okay.
I know damn well that he probably more or less fibbed, because they were talking about him in his high school yearbook and things he wrote and parties he went to and how much he drank. If you are a grown-ass man, you're in your 50s now, and your kids are around and your family's watching this, and it's on national television, are you going to be like, "Oh, yeah, I did shots every night," and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or, "Oh, yeah, I talked about trying to get in someone's pants." No,
Right.
you're gonna fib about it because you're trying to save face. And I don't knock him for that. And it was just silly that it was ever brought up. But he probably did fib about some of those things. Now, should that disqualify him? No, of course not. Again, he in his mind, he's trying to be responsible for, you know, the influence he's showing to his family, his friends, his daughters who are sitting there watching.
Right.
Plus, it's another thing that bothered me that most people don't talk about is that with Brett Kavanaugh, he had, I think, over the entire term of his first hearing and technically second hearing, he had 87 women that he either knew, dated, or worked with, and some of them he knew since high school, who all came forward and testified that this man did nothing wrong, that he was the sweetest man. They had nothing. They don't have a negative thing to say about him. She had nobody come forward.
Right.
His entire family was literally by his side, including his parents, his in-laws, some other family members, all sitting in the gallery. No one from her entire family was visible. No, did you ever see her husband come forward? No. You know why? Because he knows that there's a little fishiness to this. She lied about traveling.
Okay.
She was supposed to come forward. No. She said, I can't fly out there. And they're like, what do you mean you can't fly out here? "Oh, I can't fly out there. I'm a nervous flyer. I'm too terrified." Last year, she flew, was it 8 times or something? The year before that, it was 12 times. In fact, this year, the month before this hearing, when she was asked to come up, she was actually in Washington, which she flew out for some nonsensical reason for like a weekend getaway and then flew back home to California. But yet she was too afraid to fly. You know what I mean? It was all about delay tactics. I lost a lot of credit. She lost a lot of credibility in my eyes because of things like that. And because of lying about the front door. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not attacking this woman.
No,
I really believe that this woman believes something happened. Now, did it happen? It could have. Who happened with? I don't know. Okay? I don't know.
Right.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
See.
What are you looking at, Mike?
Nothing.
Okay. Just staring off into space on the side over here.
I do that
all.
sometimes. Something in the
Losing his
water. Maybe it's drugs from the
If anything
nearby.
happens, call the cops.
No, maybe it's drugs from the nearby hospital that got into the water.
Could be in the water.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, from people peeing
It's
in
a
the...
joke. Although they do find trace amounts of drugs in your water.
especially estrogen.
which is disturbing.
Yes, it is, Michael. Always back on the healthcare, Michael.
No,
But again,
the central topic of the day. But
you know what I'm really, really interested to watch because I'm a political junkie is I'm actually interested in the midterms coming up now in a very short period of time. What, November 6th is the midterm election?
in
I believe.
Illinois,
No, in the country, Michael.
okay,
So, those are going to be the midterms from the 2016 to the 2020 elections. Those are the midterms. There's a chance that the Democrats could overtake the House and or even the Senate. Now, there's a chance that the Republicans could hold on to the Senate and maybe even possibly the House now because there's all this bad blood in the air. And they've been predicting what they call a blue wave to kind of come overtake at least the House, if not the Senate, for a while now. But due to recent polls, those numbers that they had advantages of have dropped dramatically over this whole Kavanaugh thing. And some people are now even saying, don't be surprised if not only do you not see a blue wave, but you might actually see what's called a red riptide, where it's just going to kind of come up and sneak on you and just take a hold and rip you down because you're going to think that we're going to win victory like they did in 2016.
Right.
Oh, Hillary's going to win. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It could be one of those nights all over again. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I'm very interested, though. I mean, there's no prediction because who knows? It all comes down to who's going to show up and who's going to vote.
right,
That's what it comes down to.
yeah,
If people don't, no matter who you are, statistically speaking, across the country, roughly 24 to 25% of people consider themselves to be Democrat or liberal. About 33 to 35% consider themselves to be conservative or Republican. Everyone else is independent. So you really don't know. It just depends on who shows up and when.
okay,
And it's not like everything's up for grabs. Well, in the House, everything's up for grabs because, let me ask you, Michael, do you know how often a U.S. representative goes up for election?
let's say every 4 years. I don't know.
No, it's a good guess. It's 2 years.
Okay,
Every 2 years. So you're constantly campaigning. You're never not campaigning. Literally, you get elected, you get sworn in, whatever, or, a week, a month later, whatever it is. And then you're right back at campaigning because you have that 2 year period to get reelected. So it's really bullshit, if you ask me. So, and it's not their fault. It's just the way it is. It's the way the system is. So they're constantly campaigning and whatever. So it could switch at any time in the House. And there's supposedly a lot of talk about how many people in red states are going to turn blue because they're tired of whatever and blah, blah, blah. Well, a lot of those numbers have switched over the last couple of weeks due to this Kavanaugh thing. Now, the thing that does matter is the Senate, because the Senate, you sit for how many years, Michael?
4, 6.
6 years, Michael. Very good.
Thank you for helping me.
So it's 6 years.
It's off by 2.
Yeah, close. So, and you're off by 2 the other way. So
Yeah,
it
I
works.
know. Not good.
But even then, at any given point every 2 years, only 1/3 of the seats go up.
Okay.
So every 2 years, so the way it rotates is like 1/3 does it this year, 1/3 will do it in 2 years, and the other third will do it in the final 2 years. So there's only 1/3 of the seats basically going up at any given 2 year period. Does that make sense? Like a rotation.
Right.
So like
election.
right now, 2/3 of all Senate seats are safe. They're not up for election. Only 1/3 is.
Okay.
But of the 1/3, a majority of them are actually Democrat states. But everyone thinks that the handful of Republican states are going to be lost. Well, there maybe been some argument for that, a month ago. Now, after this whole Kavanaugh thing, who knows?
Yeah.
So the Democrats really might have screwed themselves.
Possibly.
No, I definitely.
Well,
I think
probably
it's a
did.
good chance. Now,
Yeah.
let's face it, Trump's in office, and the way Trump starts talking shit all the time, he could blow whatever good karma he needed to keep seats in the Republicans. He could blow that in a day, let alone a week, let alone in 3.5 weeks we have to the election. You know what I mean? So who
Yeah.
knows? Who really knows? A lot of people talk about Ted Cruz might lose his seat. I don't know if that's true. It might be. It may not be. Who knows? But yeah.
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 Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but it's good times. I love politics. I love talking about politics. I can talk about politics all day long, all
Okay.
night long.
Yeah.
But you don't.
No.
What do you want to talk about, Michael?
I don't know. Whatchmacallit.
Look, the candy bars? I fucking
no,
love
no,
those.
no.
Those are fucking
Whatchamacallit?
delicious. Whatchamacallit?
Those are good.
amazing.
Woodstock. how much stuff is left out of the photographs. If you ever gone there, I highly recommend going to Woodstock, which is Bethel, New York. And Woodstock did not happen actually in Woodstock, New York. It changed several times because of the promoters. They couldn't find a place. And I like to thank the late Yasgar's farm, Max Yasgar of Bethel, New York, who made the 1969 Woodstock possible.
This is what happened on one person's property, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's actually White Lake. It's a part of Bethel, New York.
Bethel, New York. Interesting. I always remember hearing about that, but I didn't know much about it.
Yeah. He didn't actually like the organizers that were on the thing, but he said, like, it's our free country and all that. And he's like, all these people are coming together. It's all cool and all that. I don't agree with your political views, but hell, let's have a concert. Everyone's coming together. This is something positive. And the promoters in the long run lost money on the initial concert. They made money on the documentaries and other films later on.
Interesting. So, is there footage of this guy talking?
Max Yasgar?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's footage of him.
Oh, neat.
And the town of Bethel, they were pissed off at him because they couldn't get their dairy milk at the time.
Now, let me ask you an interesting question.
Yes.
In my mind, it's interesting. When they did Woodstock 2, whatever that was, or the reboot,
1990s
something, right?
Yeah.
Like Metallica played and all this stuff.
Right.
Was that at the same place?
No.
Where was that?
I don't recall. I could be wrong, but it wasn't in Woodstock, New York. I don't remember.
Well, as per your own testimony, neither was the first one.
Right.
So where was it at?
I don't know.
Michael!
I have to look it up. I have to look up the second one. I was concentrating on the 1969 one.
One-sided Michael.
Not one-sided. They had a
One
couple.
track Michael.
All right, one track Michael.
All I can do is one thing at a time. That's it. Nothing else.
I didn't
blah,
look it
blah,
up.
blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to look it up right now with my handy dandy
All right.
tablet. No, you keep talking, Michael. Entertain everybody. Go ahead.
Listening to you, I get the story. It's a Who song. Whatchamacallit? I know you deceived me, but here's a surprise. I could see for miles. That's another Who song. Actually, there's a lot of things that are left out of the charts, the biographical information. Like I did not know. This is interesting. The Grateful Dead sound engineer manufactured LSD, and he got busted in California, and also he got busted in New Orleans in the 70s sometime. And there was a bunch of drug arrests, but the band was okay. Interesting side note. Actually, the Grateful Dead side, Will Get By, or A Touch of Grey, was they sang that in their concerts in 1982. But in 1987 is when they first released it as a single, and that was their first top 10 hit.
Heat?
Hit.
Heat.
I know, I misspelled. I must have dropped some acid.
Misspelled or misspoke?
I must have channeled Jerry Garcia somewhere, and he must have dropped some acid in the
Mike,
water.
what is it? What is it you just put down on my table? Seriously, like what is that?
I don't know. It's like a little. I'm getting nervous here.
But where's that from?
I don't know. It's a little thumb tip thing from a bag, a grocery bag or something.
Okay.
Let me hold it up to the camera here.
Yeah, no,
here's what it is. It's a little twist tie.
Oh, it's green, so it doesn't show up. That's hysterical because there's a green screen behind you. So it just isn't
I didn't know.
No,
it didn't show up on the screen.
No,
because it's green.
It's
I know.
green. Yeah. No, I just didn't know where it came from. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So according to Wikipedia, the event took place on Winston Farm in Saugerties, New York, about 100 miles north of New York City. The site is 10 miles from Woodstock, New York. The crowd at Woodstock 94 was estimated at 550,000.
That's
so. Is Winston Farm the same or different?
No, it's different. Yeah. What's left of the Yasgar farm, like as far as I know, I could be like not completely right, is that they put the Bethel Museum and they have they cut a peace symbol on the grounds, and that's where the stage is, and they put a Woodstock plaque. And it's like on this day, August 15th to the 17th of 1969, people came together.
Wait, there was a third Woodstock?
No,
It was.
There was. Oh yeah, there was a
in
fur.
99. What the fuckery?
They're trying to capture
So
that.
it was bad enough they did it again in 94, but 5 years later they did it again.
'Cause
motherfuckers.
What did they say that the 90? Without reading that, did they say the 94 one lost money? Because I remember something like
I
on
don't know.
MTV, people got pissed off about the water, and that's what's ironic is that's what happened the first Woodstock too. People got pissed because at the gouging that they actually wrecked the ticket scans.
Right.
And the other thing is on the original Woodstock, it got so many people came out that they actually crashed like the fences and it tied up the New York State Thruway.
Oh, sure. Easily.
And
They
just,
shut down the freeways,
yeah.
I heard from what I
There's
remember. Yeah.
There's like a Arlo Gumphrey no, it's like, hey man, we closed down the New York freeway. There's a lot of like freaks and all that. It's like on YouTube. If you look it up, it's actually pretty funny. And they just said the hell of it and they did a free concert. And they lost, they lost
I don't
a
know
lot
why
of
I'm
money.
reading this. Like, I shouldn't be like on a live webcast reading this. But yeah, no, I'll have to do some research. But that's funny.
Right.
That's pathetic, really.
But also like I did not know this too, that on Paul McCartney, he had McCartney, excuse me, Paul McCartney.
I want to remind the audience
I correct
that
myself.
this man is sober.
I
Sober.
I corrected myself. I misspoke.
Anyways, Paul McCartney
was throwing a birthday party celebration in honor of the late Buddy Holly. The day after this happened, Keith Moon, the drummer of The Who, took chloramethyl, some kind of
drug
to help with alcohol abuse, and took 32 tablets of that, and he killed himself.
Well, didn't he drown?
They didn't say he did. They didn't say anything about him drowning or anything.
What drummer drowned? Some drummer drowned.
I don't know what drummer drowned.
Drowned?
What drummer drowned?
I said drowned. That was my bad. That was on me. That was my bad. My English not so good.
It's all good.
Michael, what drummer drowned?
I don't know what drummer drowned.
I have to look it up.
All I know is that Keith Moon was I think Keith Moon was part of the 27 Club, which is a morbid fact. When people died in 27, it was like Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and he wasn't part of that. It was Brian Jones, who was the guitarist for the Rolling Stones. I don't know, kind of turned dark here, but that's okay.
Is it, Michael?
It's not okay. It's just a fact of life that some musicians just did drugs. A lot of them did drugs.
They all did drugs, Michael.
Yeah. And some say they got really creative.
Dennis Wilson drowned.
Dennis Wilson?
Yes. Beach Boys, Dennis Wilson, drummer, drowns at Marina.
Okay.
I knew some drummer drowned. See, I'm not completely crazy. I'm a
No,
little
I
bit
know.
off. I don't remember something some days. I don't know. I have good days and bad days, but I do remember that somebody drowned, and it was a
Okay.
drummer, and his name is whatever. Guy from Beach Boys. Dennis
Wilson.
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 Wilson. Wilson! My bad.
He didn't have a volleyball to help him.
Yeah. You know, I never saw that movie, even to this day. I keep meaning to watch Castaway, and I've never seen it. Not even like a whole scene.
I can tolerate it now, but it kind of drags on. He's on a FedEx plane. The FedEx plane crashes somewhere in the South Pacific. There's a little volleyball from a shipment, and that becomes his friend. He's injured, so he puts his hand on it, which is bloody, makes a little print, and he calls it Wilson. And he hides in some kind of cave.
The end.
Yeah,
No, I think
you're
he's
not
back to
missing much.
civilization or
Yeah,
something I heard, and then his wife moved on or something.
Oh, yeah,
and-
it's been 7 years.
Fucking cunt.
Probably think he's dead.
I know, I'm kidding,
All
Michael. I'm
right,
sure
I
she
know.
was no right. I'm not picking on her.
Who, as a side note, was played by Helen Hunt.
Was it really?
It was.
Isn't she a lesbian?
I don't know. All she knows, she was in that bad tornado movie with the.
It wasn't bad. Bill Paxton, who passed
It was
away.
bad.
God bless Bill Paxton.
It was bad.
Is Helen Hunt gay?
Does it matter?
No, I'm just wondering though.
She was with Paul Reiser too on that stupid show. I thought it was stupid.
No, apparently not, because she was with someone named Matthew Carnahan.
I guess so.
Carnahan. Carnahan. Split after 16 years together, but I don't think they were ever married.
Okay.
She's one of those, I don't need to be married.
Yeah,
I don't need that shit in my life.
Well, she's happy, or she was happy at the time. Then, good. I'm not one to judge.
No, absolutely not. To each their own. Right,
That's
Michael?
right. That's right.
Absolutely. Live and let live.
That's right.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's not Live and Let Die, which is a Paul McCartney song. Wings song, actually, to be exact. What? Live and Let Die, which was covered by
you
Guns
had to
N'
bring
Roses.
Wings into it, didn't you?
I know. I didn't mean to.
Michael.
Hey, they didn't write all bad songs.
No,
Wings
they
people.
didn't.
They wrote some really dumb songs too.
Yeah, no, they did. They did better than I did. So
Right.
I'm not complaining. I mean, that's good. That's good.
Didn't he write like someone's knocking at the door? Do me a favor, let them in.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Don't quit your day job.
No, I know. I can't sing.
Just saying.
I know.
Just saying.
I
No,
know.
you can totally sing. I can totally put auto-tune on there. I can make you like the next Chocolate Rain guy.
Then why don't you do
What's his
it?
name? What the fuck's his name?
A chocolate rain guy.
What the hell's his name? Tazon Days or something?
Okay.
Or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, you know what, Michael? It's been 1 hour.
Yeah.
And it's been a long hour.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's 58 minutes and it's been long.
Yeah, it's
So
been
I think we're
long.
gonna end this.
Okay. Sounds good.
Not in a bad way.
No.
I just want to be able to have this one done and we can
Right.
move on.
And we're just going off on tangents of random shit here.
We were supposed to be talking about healthcare. We ended
We
up
did.
talking about wings.
We talked about music with it's tied into Woodstock. Oh, as one side note, like actually Paul McCartney, he actually thanked Joe Cocker for whatchamacallit for doing a good rendition of I Get
Little Stone, my friends.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep, Mike, that's great. Fantastic. Thanks for just ruining this whole thing.
I'm not
It's an hour of my
ruining the
life I'll
thing.
never get back.
All
It's an
right,
hour of
fine.
their life they'll never get back.
Well, they
I'm
listened
sorry
to
if
it.
you watch this. I apologize. It's not my fault.
It's my fault.
It's his
I went
fault.
on a rambling. All right.
Nah, I'm
let's-
just kidding. That's all good.
And if you
Alrighty.
don't like it, too fucking bad.
All righty.
Bye now. Signing off.
I don't even know if it's streaming anymore. I think it went to screen.
I don't know.
know.
I see the little apple there.
I will find out in a minute. All right, we're
right.
going to go. So say bye, Michael.
Bye, peace, and love. Signing out.
My camera's in front of you.
Peace, love, and signing out. Now I'm on camera. Bye, everybody.
He's still not looking at it. I don't get it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.